In the 19th century, although Tsarist Russia was a major European country, the most important feature of this country was its large size. However, its industrial strength did not rank among the top few in Europe. It relied more on foreign technology in the development of heavy weapons, among which the 34-line and 42-line cannons were such equipment. It should be noted that the line mentioned in the Russian army refers to a unit of measurement for cannon caliber, similar to centimeters and millimeters. One line is equal to 0.1 inch, or about 2.54 millimeters. By the mid-late 19th century, the Krupp cannons had already become famous overseas. During the process of evolving from front-loading to fixed ammunition in the breech, Krupp designed and manufactured a series of excellent weapons, which successfully impressed the Russian army. In 1877, Russian army representatives came to Krupp and placed an order for 1,850 cannons of different models, which led to the creation of the 34-line and 42-line cannons. The M1877 34-line cannon was actually modified from Krupp field artillery, with the original 75mm caliber changed to 87mm. The cannon began to be delivered in 1878. There were two types of cannons, heavy weighing 445 kilograms and light weighing 360 kilograms, with a bore diameter of 18 times, firing 6.8 kilograms ammunition. The muzzle velocity of the heavy cannon was 445 meters per second, and that of the light cannon was 412 meters per second, with corresponding ranges of 6,500 and 6,000 meters. The cannon elevation angle was 0 degrees to 20 degrees. Like other Krupp field artillery at the time, the cannon did not have a recoil system, and used a horizontal sliding breech block. The Russian army deployed these 34-line cannons in the Russo-Japanese War and the First World War. They performed decently in the Russo-Japanese War, but by the time of the First World War, they were clearly outmatched by the appearance of a large number of field guns with soft recoil, whether in range or rate of fire. In the later stages of the First World War, the Finnish army captured many 34-line cannons from the Russian army, and they continued to be in service for some time. The 42-line cannon was not designed until 1880, and it was an improvement on the Krupp 105mm cannon. With a caliber of 106.7 mm, the 42-line cannon served as a larger caliber artillery, similar to a siege gun, and was a heavy field cannon for divisional unit equipment. The cannon weighed 2,500 kilograms in total, with a bore diameter of 35 times, firing 15.6 kilograms high-explosive shells or shrapnel. The muzzle velocity was 543 meters per second, with a maximum range of 9,600 meters. The cannon still used a recoil system and a horizontal sliding breech block. Like the 34-line cannon, the 42-line cannon also participated in the Russo-Japanese War, and some of them were captured by the Japanese during the battles. Lacking artillery, the Japanese immediately incorporated them into their artillery and used them against the Russian army. By the time of the First World War, the 42-line cannon remained one of the main artillery pieces of the Russian army. In that period of change, the Finnish army also captured some 42-line cannons, and these cannons had a long service life, persisting into the early stages of the Second World War. The German army also captured many during the First World War and added them to 9 artillery battalions. The 34-line and 42-line cannons were both products of the mid-late 19th century. At first, their performance was average, without any particularly outstanding features. However, they reflected the industrial level of Russia at the time and its inability to independently design similar weapons. Even the later imitation models were somewhat inferior in performance, with reinforced gun wheels and the like. In the early stages of the First World War, apart from the French army equipping a large number of M1877 field guns with soft recoil, most were still guns with recoil systems, and the 34-line and 42-line cannons were not considered outdated. However, when other countries woke up and began to design their own new artillery pieces one after another, the Russian army could only watch helplessly, as the country's industrial strength was there, and progress in technology could not be achieved in a short time. As for the Finnish army, it goes without saying, or else they would not have used those antiques into the Second World War.